of a Democrat that literally wanted to kill Republicans, literally execute by hanging them, right, ran for president, would you say that any reasonable American would never support them?
I mean, if they wanted to, okay, the only way I could see that being reasonable is if they were actively out there committing crimes. If they're out there committing like heinous, like raping children.
Oh yeah.
Doing, like,
oh yeah. So what if like just what if they just want them to die for like for no crime? They want them to die just because they're political opponent.
That's unreasonable. Even that's unconstitutional to even want to do that.
Dude, okay, so then you think that Donald Trump should be immediately removed from office because he just engaged in this unconstitutional act of treason against our country by arguing 3 days ago that Democrats should literally be executed via the means of hanging, right? For saying that our military should not follow unlawful orders made by himself, just merely repeating their oath. In the queue. What's up, Billy? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you, Billy?
Well, I think a lot of his policies have made America.
That's not what I asked you, quite frankly. Quite frankly, I asked you how old you are.
Oh, sorry. 20.
20, what year were you born in?
2005.
Okay. Chat, you got to stop spamming that, okay? No. Stop spamming the Dirk, okay? We're looking for professional political debates here. I am sick and tired of seeing pictures likely drawn by 15-year-olds of me wearing a cat towel under Charlie Kirk's arm on my For You page. Okay? And the Dirk comments are not helping. The Dirk comments are not helping. But I guess I'll go ahead and keep my reservations to myself here. Billy, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump as president. The mic is yours.
Okay. Well, our country is thriving a lot better than it was over the last 4 years with Joe Biden.
Big, beautiful lie. It's a lie. Big lie. No. There's not a single macroeconomic variable that's better off today than it was a year ago. GDP growth has gone down. Apparently, we're thriving. Unemployment's gone up, but apparently we're thriving. Business investment's gone down significantly, but apparently we're thriving. Inflation is up, but apparently we're thriving. See, it just doesn't make too much sense.
On foreign goods, I'd be willing to listen to it, but I know the tariffs that he's imposed are helping the cost of things and bringing those costs down. And it's allowing for more American-made products to get made.
Dude, okay, if tariffs, right, helped bring the cost of goods down, then why did Donald Trump repeal some of his tariffs on like beef and coffee to bring costs down?
Honestly, I really do think that the tariffs that they were going to work and they have been working.
Can you answer my question? I asked you a very specific one.
Reported it.
I asked you a very specific question, sir. Shall I repeat it?
I don't have a good answer for that. Okay. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, right. It's because there is no good answer to it because it doesn't make sense. You can't argue, right, that tariffs, right, cause affordability, help bring prices down, and then support Trump when he removes his tariffs to help bring prices down, because that tells us that the tariffs have an inflationary effect on the price of goods.
On imported goods, but we don't have to always import our goods. We can keep making it in.
Right. So they increase the price of imported goods, right? Which is still inflation.
But we can still make it within the country.
Oh, okay, right. And for like domestic, but see, the thing is that domestic manufacturers are struggling too. Right? That's why we, for the first time in years, see a reduction in the amount of investment into domestic manufacturing.
In what regard?
Well, it just the total market macro level, real fixed private investment into American manufacturing is going down for the first time in years. Because Donald Trump is creating uncertainty and instability in the market, not just through his tariffs that are going on and off on other countries, but also through his mass deportation, which is expelling their workers.
You mean the mass deportations and people who came to the country illegally?
Yeah, terrible for our economy.
How does getting rid of people who came into the country illegally, how does that make it okay?
How does that hurt our economy? Because those people account for 11 million of our consumers, 8.4 million of our workers, and account for a total of 1.1 through 1.7 trillion dollars in contribution to the GDP per year.
But that opens up more jobs for the American citizens who are here properly.
No, when we have a smaller labor force, in fact, it usually means less job opportunity because those individual laborers generate profit and help grow these companies, and then they turn around and spend the money that they make from getting paid on those companies by buying their goods.
But even if it's a small decrease for now, it'll help in the future by giving more Americans jobs, and then
Well, I mean, I just refuted that it's not going to give more Americans jobs, right? Because it hurts the economy. Okay, there's not more job opportunity when our GDP is shriveling. There's not more job opportunity when government revenue's on a downturn. There's not more job opportunity when our manufacturers are destabilized because they lose their workers, meaning they could produce less, and they lose their buyers, meaning that they could sell less. Okay, you're just thinking about it so one-dimensionally, and I think that this is an issue of many Trump supporters. You're like, oh, smaller labor force, therefore more job opportunity. Did we have a smaller labor force during the Great Depression? We did. Was there more job opportunity during the Great Depression? Absolutely not.
yeah, but I don't think we're on the track for anything close to what the Great Depression was.
Well, I never argued that we were. All that I'm saying is that it hurts our economy. It reduces job opportunity. It destabilizes our manufacturing, and it doesn't create more opportunity for Americans to enter into the workforce in the future.
So if Trump deporting those, what did you say the number was? 11 million illegal citizens. What was it?
11 to 12, yeah.
Okay. So with them being gone, where do those jobs just evaporate into the atmosphere then?
Yeah, so those jobs are the ones that we lose, right? That's yes, precisely.
But okay, so if they're doing a certain position, do these employers just eliminate that position entirely? No, they're going to look for somebody else to fill that spot.
Well, the thing is that they could only fill that spot if we had a consistent level of demand. But when we deport the undocumented immigrants, we don't just remove them from the supply side of the economy. We also remove them from the demand side of the economy.
But there's still going to be a demand for that job, and there's going to be more Americans.
The thing is that there's a lower level there's a lower level of demand for the goods produced by these jobs. Right? Like, for instance, let's just take Intel. Okay, let's say that the only thing that Intel does is they produce microchips. Now let's argue, right, that Intel loses, right, a third of their demand. Do you think if Intel lost a third of their demand, they'd keep the same level of jobs, or would they engage in layoffs?
No, I think they would try to, if they lose that, they would try to fill the position that needed to be filled.
Okay, well, now I just think that you're not tracking at all because we're talking about demand. We're not talking about labor supply. We're talking about the demand of the goods produced. Right? So I have you ever taken like an economics course in your life?
Sorry. No, I'm not in college or anything.
Okay. So that's fine. I don't mean to demean you, but what I do mean to say here is that maybe the reason why you think the way you do is because, like, you know, you're not too well read on economics, right? And my response to that isn't going to be to belittle or demean you, but rather just to tell you to please get an education, right? Inform yourself on these things because they matter.
So let me just ask you this: how, on economics, in that regard, how does eliminating a certain position or having that worker not be there, how does that affect the demand? People would still need the Intel microchips.
So how does that affect the demand? Because when that worker works that job and they get paid for working that job and they live in this country, they then turn around and spend the money that they get paid on consumption. So when we deport them, we're not only removing them from the labor force, which means less profit generated for the companies, which means less prosperity in the economy as a whole, but we're also removing them from the consumer base, meaning that they're then not going to turn around and take that money and spend it on the American companies. Demand drops.
Yeah, and maybe I do have to look into it a bit more because even that explanation I didn't quite get it, but
yeah. So dude, literally what you need is a basic education on macroeconomics related to supply and demand, which is you should do that. It'd be worth your time.
Yeah. But yeah, and part of the big thing of why I did want to, I think I've requested to be on here a couple different times, but one of the biggest things that I wanted to get your opinion on is, you're obviously well more versed into the left side of politics, and I'm more involved in the right, which is fine. but I don't really think it's proper to be celebrating anybody's death on either side of the political scale.
Amen.
Whether it's Charlie Kirk or somebody on the left side.
We don't celebrate that here because we are Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk.
But
we hold the flame.
no, I see it all the time on social media with different people, and I think
we hold the flame. Amen.
yeah. No, I just think it's kind of repulsive, and I don't want political violence on either side is wrong. That's all.
Amen. Well, see, this is actually why I don't support Trump, because 3 days ago, Donald Trump called for the execution of Democrats. So how could you sit here and tell me that political violence is repulsive and then support a president that in an unprecedented manner, right, launched an attack on his political opponents by literally calling for them to be executed via the means of hanging?
Wasn't the 34 felony counts that you preach all the time, wasn't that completely and you can correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that a Democratic judge that just did that no matter what? And
What?
the 34 felony counts weren't even all 34 felonies.
What the hell? What the hell? Why are we talking about his 34 felonies? I thought that we were talking about how Donald Trump wanted Democrats to be executed after you said that you found political violence repulsive.
It does go both ways.
What? No. Donald Trump being held accountable for felonies that he committed is not the same as the president of the United States expressly calling for the death, the execution via the means of hanging, right, of Democrats. Have you lost your mind? Have you, genuinely, have you lost your mind?
The Clintons literally killed Republicans or people they didn't agree with.
Oh my God! Yeah, we got QAnon conspiracy theorist Billy down here, Billy Boy, not a breath of. One moment, Billy Boy down here, QAnon conspiracy theorist. Now, let me just ask you this question because I could actually use your own conspiracy theory against you. Do you think because the Clintons wanted to kill their political opponents that therefore no American should ever support them?
I mean, there are people that supported them.
I know, but would you argue that they shouldn't because they literally wanted to kill their political opponents?
I think they can agree with certain policies,
No, but this is like saying, well, I'm a fence sitter for Hitler because although he did the Holocaust, he also built the Autobahn. Okay, no, you shouldn't be a fence sitter for people that want to kill their political opponents, right? So ultimately, you'd say any reasonable American would never support the Clintons from your view, since you think they've literally wanted to kill or have killed their political opponents.
Make no mistake, Trump as a person.
Right, so I'm just answering my question. Would you argue that because you think the Clintons literally wanted to kill Republicans, that nobody should support the Clintons in the Oval Office?
Well, that's a moot point because they can't even get back in.
It's not a mute point because it's hypothetical.
Now that they can't get back in office,
just answer my question. Like, if they could get back in, right? We removed the 22nd Amendment. Bill Clinton's like, hey, I want to run for a third term. Would you argue that no reasonable American should ever support him in his third term, considering the fact that he literally wanted to kill Republicans?
But that's such an unrealistic scenario to even bring up because they keep.
It's not an unrealistic scenario whatsoever. Right? Can you just answer the goddamn question? I feel like, Billy, right now you're actively running and you're annoying the shit out of me. Oh my God, right? It's like, dude, I feel like when Republicans get a question asked of them that they just cannot answer, right? They just start losing their mind. They're like, it's hypothetical. I don't do hypotheticals. Listen, how about this? Just replace Clinton with anybody. If a Democrat that literally wanted to kill Republicans, literally execute by hanging them, right, ran for president, would you say that any reasonable American would never support them?
I mean, if they wanted to, okay, the only way I could see that being reasonable is if they were actively out there committing crimes. If they're out there committing heinous, raping children.
Oh yeah. So what if they just want them to die for no crime? They want them to die just because of their political opponent.
That's unreasonable to even think that's unconstitutional to even want to do that.
Dude, okay, so then you think that Donald Trump should be like immediately removed from office because he just engaged in this unconstitutional act of treason against our country by arguing 3 days ago that Democrats should literally be executed via the means of hanging, right? For saying that our military should not follow unlawful orders made by himself, just merely repeating their oath. Get pushed.
Okay, but I didn't see the. It was he tweeted it, right?
Yeah. So you just said
I
what
didn't
Donald
see
Trump
it.
did 3 days ago is so treasonous, so anti-American, so unconstitutional that you don't even think it's realistic that somebody running for president would ever do it. Oh my God.
Was he using that in the context of like interfering with ICE agents and police officers and
No. Let me just give you. Let me just give you the context. The president of the United States
National
of America,
Guard?
Donald Trump. Can I just give you the context, my friend?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Can I just give you the context?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. The president of the United I States can't skip of America, forward, Donald unfortunately. Trump, is now demanding. We're gonna have to watch the whole thing. My bad, guys. Actually, play video from the beginning. What if I just go up here, pause it at 30? Let's see if that works. Specifically, the hangman of any Democrat urging our military to ignore any unlawful order given to them by him. I can't believe that this is a real video. I never thought I would be reporting this headline in my life. And just to clarify, you heard me right. If you want members of our military to honor their oath and uphold the Constitution, then Donald Trump wants you dead. So here's everything that you need to know. Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social. He responded to a post published by the Washington Examiner titled, "Democratic Veterans in Congress Urge Service Members to Refuse Unspecified Unlawful Orders," by saying that this is really bad and dangerous to our country and that their words cannot be allowed to stand. He then followed that up with a second post that reads, "This is seditious behavior, punishable by death." And then he reposted a comment that reads, quote unquote, "Hang them, George Washington would."
So I'd probably have to, in order to get like more context on it, I'd have to read what the thing was.
So the context of what that article was, it was just referencing a video made by Democrats in Congress, just telling members of our military that they don't have to follow unlawful orders made by the president. Do you want to see the video?
So what unlawful order are they refusing exactly? Just like was it any, or was there one specific incident?
In the video, they're just like, if he makes any unlawful order, you don't have to follow it. That's all.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect.
Okay, wait, can you pause it for a second?
And right now,
okay.
The threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving...
So, I just want to come at this from like a common sense standpoint for a second. If a uniformed officer of the United States military is giving you an order, why on earth would you refuse it?
Oh, so what they're talking about in that video would be Trump giving orders to the military, and they're telling the military that if he gives them an unlawful order, that they should refuse it.
Okay, so they weren't like the Congress people there weren't talking to the citizens, they were talking to the military.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was
right. And then Donald Trump said that they literally deserve to be hung, executed, because they said that the military shouldn't follow any illegal orders that he gives them.
So Trump was talking about the Congress people in that tweet.
In that video. That video is what he's talking about. That video.
So for the military members, I'm trying to think. Is this talking about like sending them to like the cities of like Chicago and?
It's just saying
places?
any if he makes any unlawful order. That's like we just heard the clip. There's no more context. There's none. There's no more context. We just listen to the context. That is the context. Them saying that you can refuse illegal orders. That's it. That's all the context. There's no more.
Which I suppose you could, but depending on if it was like a direct order, it could lead to like a dishonorable discharge.
No, that's not true at all. The oath tells you if you're given an illegal order not to follow it. There's nothing dishonorable about following the oath. Okay, because they said you can refuse illegal orders, right? Donald Trump is now saying that they deserve to die. So back to what we were originally talking about, you said that political violence is heinous. How can you in one breath argue that political violence is heinous, then in the next breath support somebody as president that literally is saying these Democrats should be executed, killed, murdered, hung, because they told our military that they have the ability to refuse any illegal orders he makes?
The only support that I could give is I would need to get more educated on this specific incident.
There's no more. There's no more education. I don't know how many times I don't know. One moment. I don't know how many times I'm going to need to clarify this. There's no more context. There's no more education that's required. I've given you everything. I showed you the 3 tweets that he made about it. I played you the video that this article talked about. There's nothing more that needs to be discussed.
You're claiming yours. I need to look at
no,
it.
I showed you. The only reason why I played you my video is because there was screenshots of the tweets.
Yes, but I would need to look at it from the other side and not just see it from yours. Because from your point of view, believe me, I get it.
Wait. I'm not giving you like my perspective. I'm giving you the facts. The facts are that Donald Trump responded to an article published by the Washington Examiner referencing the video I just played you by saying what he said in the tweets I showed you on screen. I'm not giving you a politically biased take on this. I'm just giving you the facts. There's no other side to the facts. The facts are the facts. The sky is blue, the earth is round. Donald Trump responded to a video, right, that we just listened to by saying that they deserve to die. There's no more. Like, what is the political spin that I'm putting on this?
It's extrapolating quotes that will eventually come back to supporting your point, which is fine. That's what you're here to do.
Wait, what else am I supposed to take away from these quotes? What else am I supposed to take away from these quotes? There's nothing more to take away from these quotes. What else is there more to take away from these quotes?
There's more research to do because what I'm thinking
on what? What is there? Be very specific. What is there more research to do on?
How this refusing an order came about. Because I'm thinking that it's talking about the military going into the like Chicago and these places.
Buddy.
And because there's people that are saying that this is wrong and unconstitutional and it's not going to work. Buddy. And so it's a big story.
Buddy.
So I'm thinking that this is where it's stemming from.
Dude, these senators just posted this video. They just posted this video that I already... Do you want to listen to it again? You're the one extrapolating shit. You're the one trying to put a spin on it. And by the way, okay, you also don't deserve to die, even if you argued that the military should disobey Trump's order to like kidnap naked children out of their beds in like the Chicago suburbs and throw them in the backs of U-Haul vans. You don't deserve to die. That is still political violence. That is still political violence. Okay, yeah. And if you want to argue that if you want to argue that it's not politically violence, that it's not what you said on both sides. When have we ever seen a sitting Democratic president call for the death of Republicans? This is not a bipartisan issue. You hack. Stop pretending like it is one.
Oh, it is so 100% on both sides.
Right. You are actively just being a D1 track runner for legitimate fascism. If you're going to sit here and tell me that this president, Mr. Trump, calling for the death of Democrats, saying that they deserve to be literally hung and executed is a both parties issue. You lack a brain, you're experiencing cognitive dissonance, and you're bowing the knee for fascism. If you were alive in 1920 or the 1930s, you would be a Nazi with this line of thought.
No, I would not.
Yes, you would. The year's 2025. The president of the United States of America has launched an unprecedented assault on the rule of law and order of America by saying that his political opponents, the Democrats, deserve to be hung and executed, right, for saying that our military can disobey unlawful orders. And your response is that you don't really care because it's an issue on both sides. Okay, if it's an issue on both sides,
I'm not saying I don't
if
care.
it's an issue on both sides, name any Democrat, right, that has served in any public office, right, not just the presidency, that has said, right, that Republicans should be executed, that Republicans should be hung.
Sitting Republicans, sitting Democrats, they don't have to. They just have to use the magic word of Nazi, and then people who support the Democrats will go and attack Republican or Trump supporters.
Oh my God, dude!
Now,
You were such a
as far as Trump
you were such a weak, spineless person. You were such a weak, spineless little person, right? You are not furthering this country in any positive direction. You lack a backbone. Your brain is mush, and I'm just surprised that you even know how to wake up in the morning and brush your teeth. You're such a fucking cornball. Like, oh my God, right? Like, you're looking at people on the left, calling people like Nick Fuentes a Nazi, right? Because he thinks that Hitler would make a good president, and the Holocaust like was good, and only 270,000 Jewish individuals died. And you're saying that that's somehow equivalent to the president of the United States of America saying that, like, I deserve to be executed, right? You understand that I'm a Democrat, right, that thinks the military should disobey any unlawful order that he makes. In fact, I even argue that he has made unlawful orders. There's already orders that he has made that I think our military should ignore. For instance, he told the National Guard going into American cities to function as a domestic law enforcement agency and arrest people in the streets. If you are watching this stream and you are a member of the National Guard, you should ignore that unlawful order that Trump gave you to function as a domestic law enforcement agency because it violates the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. All of a sudden, Trump thinks I should be hung. And you're going to argue that that's a both sides issue? Trump thinks I should be hung for what I just said. Trump thinks I should be executed for what I just said.
And on that, no, you shouldn't. You should have the bill. This is America.
So what is
you
one
have the
thing,
right to voice your opinion.
what is one thing right now that you could say with certainty would lead to Biden arguing that you should be hung and executed for it?
Biden couldn't form a sentence. He doesn't know how it's going to friggin' give you the right to be executed. He had no clue.
Oh, okay. So in other words, you're saying it's not a both sides issue.
Oh, no, it is for sure a both sides issue.
Oh, wait. I thought you just said that Biden doesn't think that you should be hung because you're a Republican. So that means it's not a both sides issue.
He didn't think I should be hung because he didn't know he was the sitting president.
Okay, great. So it's not a both sides issue then, Billy.
Oh, it is 100% a both sides
Wait, how
issue.
could it be a both sides issue if it's only present on one side? Dumbass.
It doesn't have to be a president. It's supporters on both sides.
Oh, it doesn't have to be president on both sides. Oh, it actually doesn't have to be a both sides issue in order to be a both sides issue.
Okay. So
And by the way, you're continuing to say that it's like supporters on both sides. I want you to go give your devout loyalty and support to every single Democrat that celebrates the execution of Charlie Kirk. I want you to go give because that's something that you said was a part of this political violence. I want you to go give your devout loyalty and support to the guy that executed Charlie Kirk. I want you to go give your devout loyalty and support to every Democrat that has ever called any Republican a Nazi because you said that was political violence. I want you to go give your devout loyalty and support to every single person on the left that you think perpetuates political violence towards the right for the same reasons that you are giving your devout loyalty and support for Trump for saying that Democrats deserve to be executed. You can't in one breath argue that this issue of political violence is on both sides and then support the president that's perpetuating it on the right, then condemn the people on the left that you think are as well. In the same way, you are actively supporting Trump as president, even though you're acknowledging that he's perpetuating this level of political violence. Go bow the knee to every person on the left that you think has ever perpetuated political violence and say that you make them president too.
No, political violence is wrong. And
no, you don't think that. You don't think that it's wrong.
Wrong.
You don't. Okay, so then stop supporting him right now. Say that Donald Trump should be impeached for arguing that Democrats should be hung.